Okay, so the second position that we'll be doing today is something I call the slow and steady headquarters. This is something that if you're a master athlete, such as myself, heavier or just a little bit lazy, you can use, or if you want to be closer to your opponent. So in the previous one, we were being active. Active allows us to go both sides, active allows us to step back. And once we go from the active one to the slow and steady one, we actually will close this distance that we have to our opponent. So instead of being further away, we're actually going to make a small squat and we're going to place our hands on the floor over our opponent's head like so. And now my knee has to turn inside to my opponent like this. If I would do it the other way around, my leg is wide open and he could, for instance, pummel his leg underneath inside, and now we're in deep trouble. So it's a good way to avoid the leg locks also from this position. So again, you can use similar entry as we've done before. You can use the C grips. You step behind your opponent's hamstring like this, step over, same entry as with the active, but now we'll be looking to post our hands on the floor like this. My hips go towards my opponent, and I'm gonna make a small squat, head comes up, and we are right here. Something that you have to keep in mind in this position at all times is his head. I need to follow him. So if he's moving, for instance, to this side, I need to follow him with my hands, like so. If he gets his head from underneath my hands, basically my whole body is wide open. It's easy to go from my legs, do whatever he likes to do. So we go from controlling to losing the battle. So once you go in, you make your squat, you post, make sure his head is always in between. From here we can move quite well. The good thing about this position is that he's carrying my weight at all times, especially on this leg. So if he's a person who likes to lift a lot, sooner or later he will eventually feel tired. And for us, that's great. Something that I also do with this leg, I point it inwards, and then my ankle is actually twisting his knee a little bit. It's very similar to the leg drag pass. If I'm like this, my knee is not open. It's close to his body, and I'm turning this ankle closer to his body. So from the headquarters, we are doing the same thing if we want to be close. So this knee goes towards his ribs and my ankle is facing his knee. And from here, at all times he's carrying my weight, and for me it's quite easy to do any of the techniques we'll be doing later on in this instructional. So the entry can be the same. You can do the one where you step over, and also something that I do quite a lot is when my opponent goes for the single leg X. So from here he would like to, for instance, pull my leg to the leg lock position, whatever. So this at high level is trouble. So we can use this entry when he goes for this to make our own entry, do the slow and steady headquarter. So I'm just gonna drop my body a little bit. I lean forward and we are already where we want to be. Hands are on the floor. Only problem right now is his shin on shin hook. If I don't do anything, he can start to pummel his leg inside. So what we do, we push our weight to this side, my toes go on the floor, and now my second leg will go under his shin, and now for a moment we will do double shin. So I have both of my ankles on his shin. And then the right one in this case, I will just lift and place it to the inside of his hamstring, and we are right where we want to be. From here, we can pummel so many things you can do from this position.